comfort.camping. So for those of you that tuned in to my New Year's Eve camping trip over at Bell's Heritage Farm, thank you for tuning in for that. If you remember in some of that video recording, I talked about my current and showed my current camping setup that I had in my Jeep. And I talked about it was a little bit uncomfortable. It could have been, it wasn't terrible, but it definitely could have been better. So what I've done is I've taken my Jeep camping pad out of the back. I'm totally going to revamp my room, and all the furniture items inside my room, they're all too big. I have no room. I can't move around. So I'm going to be condensing and getting things that will hopefully reorganize my room. But with that being said, I'm taking my old mattress, and I had already started the process of getting things trimmed up on it. And what I've done is I've used my Jeep mattress pad here as the outline for it. I kind of started in yesterday, but okay, so that little break is over. I just wanted to show you so far what I have and see what it kind of looks like here. So really, I did get a rough start in the beginning. You see some of this jagged edge right here. That is actually not from the saw. See how it's nice and smooth right here, almost like angel food frosting here. And what I've noticed was with that sawzall, I mean, it does cut through. The only thing I wish about the sawzall, I mean, I'm using a tool that, you know, is borrowed, so you use what you got. But it is kind of big. It is kind of bulky. It does kind of, you know, rattle and shake in your hands. It's the only problem that I have with it. Sometimes it hurts from the vibration. I did see somebody once use an electric knife, which seemed to work very well, made some really nice, smoother cuts. And that's probably because of the speeds and you can handle it. It's easier to work with. It's smaller tool. Most of this jaggedness here from these two first layers, that was from my dogs. And another reason I was looking into getting another mattress, because on a couple of the corners of my mattress, the dogs had chewed it up. But this is actually working out quite well. And I just wanted, so I've got this first part trimmed off, and what I did was just made the straight line, and then I came in and I cut that section, so I had more room to work. And then I've already started here. Now I don't want to pull. It's when you start to pull, you will get it to tear. But this side here is actually coming out completely really smooth, and I'm pretty impressed with that. So I will have kind of one rough corner down here, but everything else is coming out really smooth. So I just wanted to stop a second before I proceeded and kind of show you what I was doing. You know, I think possibly a better tool would be an electric knife rather than a big old sawzall, because it is bulky, and also having the right setup to make things more comfortable on your back. But hey, you do what you can. You use what you got at your disposal. So I'm going to continue working on this, and I will show you the end product next. All right, be right back. Okay, so I have started in on the other side here, and this is what I wanted to show you. Kind of got the hang of it. What I have done is try to show you as best I can here. In between here, my line it's really smooth. It's not choppy, it's not coming out chunky, anything like that. What I did was I started from, I'm not sure how you can see that, right here, started from the bottom here, and what I did was I just went from the very bottom and I came up and then took the saw, once I made that final cut, up from the bottom, and as long as the saw blade is, which is probably a good 6 inches, just kept going and making my straight line, and it cut through like butter right up to here before my curve. And all I have now is to go back through one more time, and I don't want to pull too far apart, but this is not a quick process. Take your time, go very slow, be gentle on pulling the material apart, because if you pull apart too much, it will get chunky and wavy, and you'll have a lot of chunks instead of a nice smooth line. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through one more time, and now that I've got down to right about there, I'm almost about 1 inch away from cutting through the rest of the way on the bottom. So I'm going to go back through with the sawzall. I'm going to do that one more time. It's just easier to show you in sections. And the truth, you know, your first time, my first time, never done anything like this before. I'm not a handy person. You know, my idea was I was going to throw this out anyways, so I kind of really didn't care if I messed all this up and how it would look. So if you are short on material though, and you don't want to do a practice run, then, you know, maybe this will be helpful so that you can get that smooth line. But, you know, truly in the end, as long as it fits nice. Okay, so I have finished cutting this down here. So see if you can see. I've got it cut down. My lines aren't as smooth or as straight as I would like it from top to bottom. But you can see and tell here that, see if we can get down here, and maybe more of an up angle. But I do have it cut out in the pattern that I need for it to fit around my little hub walls in the back of the Jeep. So the moment of truth here, I've already took off like a top layer as well of the 1 inch padding that was glued on the top. I kind of thought about taking off one more layer, but it's really on there, and I think it would tear a lot if I tried to take the other layer off. But so this is probably going to sit up pretty high in my Jeep. But the moment of truth, hopefully I have cut it down enough that when I go to put it in the back of my Jeep, that it will just fit, because I don't want to do any more cutting today. That was actually pretty hard for me. So moment of truth, I am going to go take it out to my Jeep, and I am going to go see if it fits down there. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. That was a lot of work. I got it in. kind of really hard to shove it in the top part because it's so thick and try to fold it, but I did manage to do it on my own, and it is a little too long. So right now I currently have my front seats pushed pretty much forward, and you can see it's just coming here right about where my hook is, right there. And it's just like laying right on top, and then the corners are coming out, and you can tell that, maybe you can see in here, but how right here is the hub, and I still have that much space. If I pull it forward, get Rosie off here and I'll pull it forward. And if I pull it forward to meet right there where that hub is, this is going to hang out. So I am going to have to trim some off the bottom. I think it would be the easiest solution. Should have went with my first line and cut a little more off the top, but it's kind of in there. It is a pain in the butt to put in, and so it's going to be a pain in the butt to put out. I would say this probably isn't ideal if you were going to use this as a daily driver, have passengers in the back seat. Now, one of my ideas is I wanted to take and maybe cut it in half and have it fit in the back with my seats folded up. It would probably take up the whole room in the back. I wouldn't be able to see out the window because this thing is thick. But for camping, if I was to be in this for any long extended amount of time and wanted a good night's sleep, this would probably be ideal.